Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. So a little bit late, but last night we did this and it worked out pretty well. So let's just continue with that trend. Trend is your friend. So what we're going to do right now is just do a quick update on what's happening with the big three. The big three bills, which are the Genius Bill, Genius and Clarity Bill, and the CBDC Bill. If you're not familiar with that, or what it is, and everybody's been talking a lot about the bills and what's going on and why they haven't passed. Well, just to catch you up to clarity here, the Genius Act is all about stable coins. It's all about how these are going to work, how these are going to move, how everything's going to have to do with stable coins and stable coin legislation, and of course the chains that they're built on. The Clarity Act is a clear regulatory framework. That's what's going to decide who gets the SEC, who gets the CFTC, which one is a security, which one is a commodity, which one's going to oversee that. And then lastly, the Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act, which is going to block the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency. This is the big sticking point. And the reason why is because there are members of Congress who want the CBDC bill, which I think is insane, but here we are. So this advancement, which was today on Wednesday, because it got shot down yesterday, it was a 215-211 vote. It means the bill will proceed to the floor debate and then to formal votes likely before the end of the week, which I think is interesting because today's Wednesday. So they must be moving pretty fast. So expect something on Thursday and Friday. Something happens, they'll debate it, and then we'll go through. I believe that these three bills, once they go through, we are essentially going to see a pretty big pump like what everybody else believes, but who knows? It's anybody's guess. And I would say, though, that this middle part here, the vote, it was all about the language of the CBDC and who could actually create one, who could bring it forward. And there was members of Congress that just like, no, we need this more stringent. And I have to tell you, I salute those people that did that. Because if you know what CBDCs are, they're essentially going to lead us to a nanny surveillance state. And I don't want that to happen. So if it takes a couple more days for my bags to pump, I'm okay with that. Having said that, it's a good day. And I want you to notice something about this, the 30-day increase. And we take a look at Bitcoin, and which has been the king, it is the king forever, but it's only been up 10% in 30 days. I know people say, well, who cares because it's been up 100% over a year. I get that. But when we start to take a look at the daily and then the 7-day, and then we take a 30-day, if we can go out 60, 90, 120 days, we can see a trend. And the trend is alts are coming back. Will they continue? I don't know. I took some profits early this morning, so we'll see if it does. That's just because I have the rules set in. But over the last 30 days, if you don't know, Ethereum's gone up 30%, XRP 35%. BNB actually has been sucking against Bitcoin, only at 9.5. Solana, barely beating it. Dogecoin, 23. Tron, not doing great. Cardano, almost 20. And there was another one that was really big. Which one was it? I believe it was Bonk. Let's see if I can find it down here. Here it is. Bonk is up 152%, and it's in the top 50. Why? It's because the people that are behind Bonk are buying back Bonk and burning it, which will lead to a little bit more scarcity. So if you're looking for the next Dogecoin, this is essentially Dogecoin on Solana. So not financial advice, but check that out. And then lastly, I will just say, like, if you want to just take a look, this is over at CoinGecko, and change the currency to, a little Bitcoin, we can see which ones are doing better as far as alts over the last 30 days. And the answer is most. So this wasn't the case. It is the case now. We'll see where things go. I like where things are going as far as alts. And that will lead me to dominance. And we can see here, because this is from our friend Ben Cowan over at Into the Cryptoverse. We can see that dominance has been going down, and people are excited about that. But I will remind you, it's only at 60. It's at 62.89. People are like, oh, it's low. No, it's not. It was lower just a couple of months ago, 13th of May, 2025. It was at 61%. So I know people are excited about as dominance goes up, then the money flows into altcoins, then we go into small cap altcoins, and things go great. Everybody's happy because their altcoin bags are pumping. But I'm just telling you right now, it's looking good, but we still got a ways to go before we get just a couple of months ago. But I like where things are going. I like what's happening with Ethereum. I don't know if you guys saw this. Bank of America calls Ethereum the new stablecoin rail. And the reason why they're saying that, it's because they are going to build their own stablecoin on Ethereum, just like a lot of other companies I think are going to do. If you wonder this question, why is Ethereum being chosen so much? There's many reasons. People will tell you that, just because, there's other chains that are way faster, way cheaper, and a little bit more efficient. But Ethereum's been battle tested, and it's kind of like the chosen one. I know it's not the greatest option, but neither is Swift to move payments across borders. And they've been using that since the 1960s, and it sucks. This one, at least with Ethereum, I just think this is pretty much what they're going to go with. And just like Robinhood picked Arbitrum, which is a layer 2 solution. There was a quote from the CEO of Arbitrum, and he said it very poignantly. He said, look, in the 80s and 90s, no executive got fired using IBM. It wasn't the best out there at that point. There was other ones that are emerging, but that's the one they picked because it was battle tested and they just wanted to move forward. I think that's the same thing with Ethereum. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, you want to talk about pumping your bags. Tom Lee's doing a great job. Tom Lee, he's the CEO of Fundstrat. He's also, of course, we talked about this before, he is putting up a Ethereum treasury for his company, and they're buying Ethereum. I think they're up to $500 million now. And he's going to keep posting stuff. I thought it was pretty funny. It was Joseph Lubin, Vitalik Buterin, and him as the trifecta for Ethereum. And you're going to hear, and Tom's just not a funny guy in X. He's a traditional finance player. Also, he is everywhere on MSNBC, CNBC, and interviews. This guy is like a machine. I think he's almost like the Michael Saylor of Ethereum. Now, it's a little bit different because Michael Saylor only focuses on Bitcoin. Tom's got a lot of other things, but I'm telling you right now, that's your guy. That's your guy who's going to be your loudspeaker. And if you got Ethereum, you're going to love that fact. So these things are looking pretty good. I think things are moving in the right direction, like I've said before, but there's one thing I need you to be aware of. Spreads are going to kill you. What am I talking about? When you start to sell your crypto, and you will, it's okay. No one's going to diamond hands or shun you here for saying, I'm not here for the tech all the time. I like to sell some things. When you sell your crypto on exchanges, that's where you're going to have to sell it. You could put it into, I guess, a stable coin on a decentralized platform, which might not be a bad idea now I think about it. But if you do that into an exchange because you need to actually have, cash to buy whatever you're looking for, a house, a car, a couple kidneys, whatever, you're going to have to sell it on exchange. And these things called spreads are going to, they're going to utterly destroy you. And I'm going to do a presentation on this later. But I went to, because people were like, because I only use Kraken. And people were saying, but the spreads suck. So I went to Binance US and I was like, I wonder how bad they suck compared to Binance. Binance sucks. So what's happening here is I put this in. Let me see this. Why can't it? Let me blow this up. Okay, there you go. I want you to notice the time. This is 7:29 a.m. I looked at Ethereum and I wanted to buy it. And the price was $3,260. So I wanted to buy $100 worth. Here's the fee. Not bad. Everything's going great, right? And then I thought to myself, I wonder if the spreads from the buy to the sell are really that great. Well, check this out. Notice the time in the upper left-hand corner, 7:29. I did this very quickly, so there wasn't a lot of slippage. 1 ETH is 3,013. That's interesting because the buy price is 3,260, but yet my sell price is 3,013. That's like 5.25 or something like that %. Correct me in the comment section. So you're losing out automatically by the spreads. And that was the same thing on Coinbase, and there was the same thing on Kraken. So when you're going to sell your crypto, just know you're going to lose about 5% or somewhere around there. But there's a catch. And the catch is that if you use any kind of Coinbase Pro, Kraken Pro, I think Binance says Binance Pro, it's a little bit cumbersome, but there's really no spreads. You actually get the full amount. And all you got to do is know how to do it. If you would like to see a video on how that's actually done and walk you through it, I'd love to do it. Just let me know in the comments and I'll do one of those videos. But just be aware, if you're going to sell, you're going to take a big fat hit. And lastly, before I get into the Q&A, is this. I want to thank everybody because this is a pretty good meme. You can mess up your whole life just by hanging out with people with no goals or ambition, AKA losers. And I've been doing this show for about 5 years. And it's because of me doing live streams and doing some research and finding out stuff about how exchanges are crazy and screwing you over on the fees and the different projects that are out there. It's because of that, and I've been doing it, that I've actually become a better investor. So it wasn't just, me just magically doing pretty well. It's because I had to show up every day and talk to you guys. And everybody here, I think, is pretty great. So thank you so much for helping me out, as well as me helping you out. That's it for today. So like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now let's get into a little Q&A. This will just be for a couple minutes, and then we'll get the heck out of here. It's getting dark because my green screen is is going black. Let's see. Will's, what the hell? Sorry. Will said, agreed. I cut off my friends from the last 3 years because they were not doing anything. There you go. I can tell you who you are. Just show me 5 of your closest friends. And that's always been true. Okay. Crypto exchange spreads are a scam. Limits or use advanced options. Justin's absolutely correct. Tristan says, Minutes Network has been doing great. Deep dive video soon. Yeah, did you guys see the deep dive I did 2 years ago on that one? It's over on my other channel, D.A.N. Also, I just did a video on staking Minutes Network tokens. I don't know if you're interested in that. Just do a quick search, either D.A.N or Digital Asset News Minutes, and that will come up. Thanks, Em. You learn to teach and you teach to learn. Yeah, that's it, right? Have you looked into the tech behind Kita Network? 10,000x faster and cheaper than Solana, converted native KYC for banks, 100x from here, study it. Morgan, I know exactly what you're talking about. And this is a very fast chain. If you take a look at a website, I think it's called chainspect.app. I'll look at this. CHAINSPECT, chainspect.app. And what it'll show you is how fast each layer is. And the one that you were talking about, what's it called? Kita is extremely fast. The problem that I have with it is that it's very untested. And when you take a look at the amount of transaction volume, it's like 15 or 20. You take a look at like Solana, it's 4,879,662 transactions. And I think that is in a time frame of, what's the period time frame? Is this over 24 hours or 1 hour? Let's see. That doesn't say. Anyhow, that's the problem I have with Kita so far, or Kita. So we'll see how it works out. But again, if when it gets battle tested a little bit, I'll probably invest into it. But if right now it's unproven, and I might be missing out on a major thing, but I've missed out on a major thing many a times. I'm okay. Let's see. David says, I was going to convert 2,000 USD to USDT on Coinbase. The fee was $40. Yeah, there's a way around that. And the way around that is with Coinbase is if you want to transfer it to your bank. Did you know that Coinbase, if you have USDC, it'll allow you to transfer the USDC, which is a stable coin built on Ethereum and a host of other chains, and allow you to transfer it to your bank free of charge at the amount that you get. So if you have like $2,000 and you take the USDC and change it to your bank, it automatically does it. And the question you have is, well, how the hell does that work? Because USDC can't sit in my bank. My bank doesn't support USDC. So Coinbase has a big partnership with USDC and Circle, and they do it for you automatically. It's like as like a favor to their favorite company. And that's the reason why they don't really support, or they support Tether, but they don't really go out of their way for it. It's because they want Circle and USDC to succeed. So yeah, that part sucks. But as far as like transferring over, yeah, it's not the greatest. Let's see. Hello, you're the best. The spread on iTRUST is worse. It's not the best either. Great stream. I have no friends. Join the club. Don't leave us, Rob. Let's have a bull run meetup party in Puerto Rico. Nah. Once we go to a blow off top and I start selling things, I do the show, I tell you I'm selling, and I don't return. And that's it. And then Franklin says it best. We gotta get here. Ironically, crypto exchanges are worse than the bank fees. So do we need regulation? We need regulation so they can legally screw us over. And that's pretty much it. Anyhow, we're coming up in 15 minutes, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Trying to keep things a little bit more concise. That's it for tonight. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you guys on the next one. Mañana. There's no NFA live tomorrow. Guys are traveling. I'm busy too, so just do a live stream late. Adios.